Welcome back to all our viewers for the post-match show. What a game we had in our hands. The match going right till the end, till the last ball. You cannot imagine the amount of pressure and nerves that Harshal Patel must be feeling when he played that ball.
Yeah, absolutely, Yash. I think the match actually went down to the wire, all thanks to RCB and a little bit of the wickets that fell earlier. They should have had an easy chase. But what an exciting start to the tournament. And RCB's got those early points that they needed, and ABD's the guy who done it.
Finally, they broke the jinx of losing at Chipok. They finally won a game.
Yeah, now their stats are going to look much better for playing in Chennai. And I think they'll be happy with their performance. And they'll take a few learnings from this as well.
Something pretty surprising today that we saw was Washington Sundar opening the innings in place of Rajat Patidar, who is a natural opening batsman as a top order batsman for Madhya Pradesh. I was surprised. I hope the people were too.
Yeah, I mean, even I was surprised because I was not expecting Washington to open the innings purely because one, he is not the fastest of batsmen, and we've not seen him really open the innings and come out and hit the ball and maybe take away the game from the opposition. But Washington being a lefty and with Mumbai playing two spinners who'll bowl into him, I think that was the one of the strategy for sending him up top, along with the fact that he's a local Chennai boy. So maybe they took another of that chance. But sadly, then Rajat Patidar was who was scheduled to open, came one down and didn't get enough balls. So and he lost his wicket too. So that was a surprise from RCB from my end. Uh, but apart from that, I think they've done pretty well after that.
Yeah, exactly. Some good points you put out there. Also, not to mention Virat Kohli and Maxwell. That partnership. What do you have to say about that?
What a wonderful 52-run partnership that was. At one point, they were looking at they were playing so well. They were playing at an economy of 7.5 runs and over, and they looked really solid to take the game away from Mumbai by the 15th or 16th over. I think Maxwell showed a lot of maturity in this game because the Maxwell that we know is known to just come out and whack the ball. All the balls that the spinners are bowling, he would generally slog sweep them. Today it was a little different. He played Chair a little differently. He played Kunal Pandya differently. He played well on the offside. He complemented Virat Kohli very well. His calling was excellent between the wickets, and he also made Virat Kohli run 3 runs, which means yeah. Overall, as a batsman, when you're on the other end, for a guy like Kohli, also he was a very good partner to be. So Maxwell really proving his worth. I think Kings 11 Punjab would be biting their nails right now, saying that how come we just sold this guy and he's just played like almost a match winning innings, or an innings that set up the chase for RCB.
Maxwell and his fans will be pretty relieved after he got a couple of sixes under the belt. Last season he went with no sixes in 11 innings, I think over 11 innings. And this year he came and he was on the money since the first game, and amazing to see that from Maxwell.
Yeah, the couple of sixes that he hit, one was hit, and the graphic on the ground actually showed that it deserved to go to Marina Beach in Chennai. So that was a huge six, and the other one was a slog sweep. So that was the first four also that we saw that he hit as a reverse sweep, and so I mean he paced his innings really well along with Kohli.
Speaking of Kohli, how important of a player he is to this RCB batting lineup. Over these years, the team has been built around him and AB de Villiers, especially Virat Kohli being the captain, having so much pressure on his shoulders. How do you think, how would he pace his innings and how he played today?
I think the addition of Maxwell has really helped Kohli. Kohli is always a mainstay. He would love to bat for all of 20 overs, but by playing around 14 league matches, it is not possible for Kohli to play each and every match. It's inhuman. What Kohli has got now is a very good cushion of Glenn Maxwell coming on in between the 7th and the 15th over, and then ABD taking over the last 5 overs. So they've actually split their batting into these three zones where Kohli can come in and play, and if he plays longer, then he's going to take the game away from the opposition. Such a mature knock by him to play up front, and he played Bolt and Bumrah very well up start also, and they were playing very well till the point that those wickets started falling. So Kohli, for his 33 runs out of 29 balls with 4 fours, and a partnership where he went a little silent when Maxwell went for all the big runs, was showing his class and talent of how he's viewing the game and how he's allowing his other players also to usher with him in the chase.
Absolutely. And also not to forget Trent Bolt picking up another wicket yet again in the power play. He has been picking up wickets like it's a habit for him. Last season we saw him pick wickets in the first 6 overs almost in every game. He was one of the most
Yeah.
important reasons Mumbai Indians came to the final and won it. So what do you have to say about Trent Bolt and his consistency over the past 2 years for Mumbai?
I think Trent Bolt has, if I'm not mistaken, he had taken 20 wickets in the power play last year. And he's been one of the premier bowlers, apart from being a fantastic outfield fielder. Trent Bolt has always taken wickets. So Rohit Sharma has got very good options in terms of his death bowling and his initial bowling of the first 6 overs when the fielders are in. So again, sadly, he was not able to take more wickets, but 1 for 36, I think, from Trent Bolt was a very good performance for Mumbai.
Also, Jasprit Bumrah and Jensen, Marco Jensen. We'll come to him later. But speaking of Jasprit Bumrah, how important of a player he is for this Mumbai Indians team, because he everything he touches turns to gold.
Yeah, Bumrah has actually been, one of the mainstays of Mumbai Indians. And after Lasith Malinga, he's been one of the spearhead bowlers to bowl in the death. I think the best thing for a captain would be to have a Bumrah and a Bolt in the team. We've already spoken about Bolt, but Bumrah was used for only 1 over during the first 6 overs, and his overs were kept towards the end. When he returned, he took the wicket of Virat Kohli, which is like a soft dismissal for a set batsman. It was LBW, and then he took another wicket of Shehbaz Ahmed also, along with assisting a run out towards the end. So the kind of contributions that he makes to the team is absolutely brilliant. He's a fantastic death bowler, one of the top 2 or 3 death bowlers in the world, I would say. And I think he's always ready to do what the captain is asking him to do, and he always comes up with the goods. So even although they've lost and it was a really close match, Bumrah ended up with 2 for 26 and another run out to his name.
And the chota packet today, Marco Jensen, he took everyone by surprise, didn't he? By coming in with those left arm quickies, and I didn't expect that from him. Coming to the IPL, the biggest Premier League, one of the biggest leagues in the world, and performing that way, it was something amazing from him. The last 2 overs that he bowled, quite miraculously amazing.
Yeah, so Janswell took 2 wickets, and for a 20-year-old to bowl such an excellent spell was very nice to watch. I mean, we said at the starting in the previous shows that it could be the day of the foreign debutants, and that's exactly what's happened. We saw Jameson do it in the first inning, and Jansen doing this. Also to take the last over, to bowl the last over, needs some kind of mental presence and maturity, which he showed. So I think he will be developed very well by the Mumbai squad, and he will be something to look for in the future and
Uh,
this tournament as well.
Okay, and what do you think would be the positives out of this match for Mumbai Indians? Being on the losing side yet again for the ninth time in a row. But I still felt that Mumbai Indians camp was pretty relaxed. They were not in a lot of pressure. They took it in their stride as they have all these years, being slow starters and emerging as winners. In at least in the last 9 years, they've won 5 trophies. So, what do you have to say about their attitude overall?
Well, to be honest, I think their attitude was pretty positive even towards the end when I looked at the dugout and you shake hands, you have those players look at each other and you look like they look quite reassuring, saying that what, we're going to bounce back. And it's not new for them because now they've lost their first match 9 times in a row in any tournament. But I don't think this statistic is really anything. It's just a talking point because Mumbai ends up winning and coming in the top 4. For key takeaways from them, I think would be that they would require to ensure that they could make, this pitch was a 180 pitch, and they could make only 159 runs. I think they lost because of 10 or 15 runs in the end. I think the bowling department was excellent. They did all their bit. Rahul Chahar you can say was one of the bowlers which I think who was trying too hard, who was hitting the ball too hard. He should have bowled it slightly slowly. That's one of the reasons why he's gone for a lot of runs. He went for 43 runs in his quota of 4 overs. But apart from that, Mumbai has nothing to worry about. They're a well-oiled side, and they will come about.
It was surprising to see both the leg spinners, whom we had so much hopes from, didn't deliver the goods, going wicketless in more than 8 overs, conceding 84 runs in between them. So, was it a just an off day, or what do you have to say about that?
Well, I don't think it's an off day. I think at the middle innings break, RCB would have had a discussion saying that yeah, leg spinner is not working so much. So maybe Rahul Chahar can also be navigated in a similar fashion. And they were helped by Chahar and the way he bowled, which was not up to the mark. I thought he should have bowled really a little slow and a little full. But he sprayed along and he got Maxwell all those runs that he really required, and build their confidence as well. So not really a very good performance, but by the leg spinners today.
But when you have Glenn Maxwell out there and Virat Kohli, who will punish every loose ball that you bowl, there are some nerves that you feel when you are bowling to these stalwarts.
Yeah, true. You have no choice when these guys get going, right? But at the same time, I think they were quite cautious. They didn't go berserk. We never saw anyone having a streak of really big sixes. I think they were quite level-headed in their chase. And Kohli and Maxwell, with their partnership of 52 runs, they really set it up for ABD. It looked like that they're going to keep those few runs for ABD to come and whack. So when he came, I think his score of he was able to chase the score.
And also we saw a little bit of misfielding. If the Mumbai Indians have put a great level of fielders, they have some amazing batsmen, fielders, bowlers, and fielding department, especially letting them down a couple of occasions. They didn't go for the catches, and Pollard misfielding a couple of times. How does that have an impact on the team morale after a game?
See, they would obviously have a chat about all these things, but people who are like Pollard, who are old team players, he's not the best fielder in the world. You can't expect a huge 6 foot four guy to jump around the ground. Yes, you want him to catch those, but maybe it's the first match. They're a little rusty and not coming from enough practice. I think they'll come along. The fielding coach does have a few sessions with the team, I guess.
Oh, and what a day for Harshal Patel. He came in in the pressure situation last over in the 19th over. He bowled really well. Then came to bat in. One ball, one run required. You are expected to hit that, but it could play as a reverse psychology to you a lot of times. And having a bowler like Jensen, who is on his debut, who is on the top of his game at the day. You didn't expect that from Harshal Patel.
Yeah, absolutely. But what this game does to you, and what a good performance does to you, I think in the previous half of the game, he had taken 5 wickets, and in those 5 wickets, I think he's built a lot of confidence. I'm sure he's spoken to himself during the match, saying that before going that, you know what, I've got just 4 or 5 balls to play. I just need to connect it and give the strike to AB de Villiers, and that's exactly what he did. He did nothing wrong. He stayed there. He took ABD's call and he went for the second run as well. Sadly, ABD got out at the other end, but Harshal Patel in the last over kept his nerve. The last ball he played it nicely and ran the final run and got it done. Got his team home. I think it's a fairy tale finish for him. He deserves it. He would be my pick for the man of the match, really, because for taking 5 wickets and restricting Mumbai to only 158, which is an easier score to chase than a 180, which would have ideally been the case.
Has to be. And you seem pretty confident as well, giving the right prediction on the very first day. You said RCB will win, and they did. So congratulations to you as well.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I thought ABD would bring the goods. I think my prediction was helped by Maxwell, who was a surprise package, because honestly, there would not be a lot of people who would put all their money on Maxwell in the first match. But I just thought that the score was low, and you have Kohli who's batting along with him to give him that confidence. So that kind of helped ABD build his innings and finish it off. 48 runs in 28 balls with 2 6s and 4 4s. He hit all the right shots at the right time and brought them into the game. I think 4 overs, 39 with 3 overs to be bowled by Bumrah and Bolt is not an easy task to chase. I mean, anybody will tell you that
Yes.
it's not an easy chase, although it would be less than 10 runs an over, because these boys have been terrorizing batsmen towards the end of the innings. But we had Mr. 360 and he delivered.
So, lastly, thank you very much, Salil, for joining us. And thank you, all our viewers, for coming in today live. We will be back tomorrow with live action between Delhi Capitals and Chennai Super Kings from the Wankhede Stadium. It's a pretty exciting match. Dhoni back, Raina back, Pujara back. Lots to talk about tomorrow. We all will see you tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Salil. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Yash.